Hello everyone, this is Laura Lee Rose, and I'm a speaker and author. I am an expert in time management, professional development, and work-life balance strategies. I help busy professionals and entrepreneurs create effective systems so that they can comfortably delegate to others, be more profitable, and have time to enjoy life, even if they don't have time to learn new technology or train their staff. At the end of the day, I give people peace of mind. This presentation is specifically for professionals who are ready to succeed. And today's professional development topic is the 3 keys to saying yes to everything, but on your own terms. Most busy professionals and business owners are overwhelmed and stressed, having too much on their plates. You don't have to be in the business of busyness. The secret is to transition from the worker bee mentality to the owner's mindset. In my signature talk, I cover the 3 keys on how to quickly make that transition. The presentation is called The 3 Keys to Saying Yes to Everything on Your Own Terms. The benefits are increased income, more time with those you love the most, designing your own life on your own terms instead of someone else's, and to be able to make a bigger impact. I have lots planned today, and I intend to end within 30 minutes, so I'm going to be moving quite quickly, but there will be opportunities to chat offline as well. I also know that we work in groups and organizations. It's always easier to influence others if they are exposed to the same level of communication and training. If you have a group interested in a live presentation of this material, please let me know at laurarose@rosecoaching.info. Also, take a look at my time management book, Timepiece, Making Peace with Time. It further explains these concepts in a real-world scenario. Even though the content is time management techniques, it is written in a novel format that illustrates real-world, real-life scenarios. But before we go into that, I want you to know what makes me an expert in this. I grew up in the IT and software development industry. I started off as a developer and programmer. My customer perspective led me into testing, and I became a hiring and firing manager of both developers and testers. As a development manager, I created a customer-focused program called the Design Partner Program. We invited high-profile clients to be part of our design and development team. Those clients participated in our various milestone reviews, our spec reviews, and test lab sessions. This program was so successful that the IBM Rational brand not only adopted it across departments, but incorporated it and highlighted it into their biannual software user conferences. Even though I left the company in 2009, the Design Partner Program is going strong. I also hold 5 patents, one of which is on business processes. The others are product-based. While in the corporate environment, I published many articles and spoke at many technical conferences. These activities increased my income and credibility. All of these experiences I now use in my coaching business. I only mention these things to show you that anything is possible. So, how would you like to never having to say no to anyone ever again? Yet, stay focused on only the things that you want to focus on. In this presentation, we cover the general flaws behind just say no and how to say yes without feeling overwhelmed. We're going to be focused on your own professional and personal goals and how to deliberately select the items that are aligned with your goals and delegate, delete, delay, and diminish those items that do not match. We are also going to mention the 3 T's of how to say yes. I know that your situations will be different. Consider taking me up on the offer of an introductory discovery coaching call for a quick 20-minute laser coaching session. It's easy to make that appointment. We'll talk more about that later in this presentation. We often hear the advice of merely saying no when your plate is filling up. This is not the best solution because you don't know how full your current plate actually is, because current commitments often expand. Therefore, you are overextended even before you get to say no. Saying no to people also feels awkward and negative. And you are afraid that you are not being a team player or it will affect your career chances. Here's a dodgeball analogy I normally use with my clients. Being constantly on guard to say no to things is much like the game of dodgeball. You are spending most of your time dodging requests and projects by constantly saying no. Just as in dodgeball, even though you are doing great in your saying no, you are still stuck in the middle of the game. You are not making any forward progress. Learning to say yes is the key to keeping your wits about you, while still satisfying the essence of the original request. Saying yes, but on your own terms, is the key to staying sane. The truth is that chaos does not have to be a way of life. Preparing to say no is also an attitude of scarcity and defeat. You are actually saying, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough skill. I don't have enough energy. There's not enough of me to go around. This is a false premise because there is enough time, energy, and you to go around if you explore alternative ways to accomplish the essence of the goal. There is enough of you to do everything that you really want to do. I enjoy the game of the glass half full or half empty. To me, this is a game of scarcity. Whether you are seeing the glass half full or half empty, you are still seeing only one glass. You are limiting yourself to one glass. When someone asks me if the glass is half empty or half full, I answer, the glass is irrelevant. It's irrelevant simply because refills are free. And that's the mentality of abundance. We have several online courses and coaching packages that will help identify the abundance that is already around you at home, at the office, and in your community of interests. In the meantime, practice saying yes. Then continue to think of ways the goal can be accomplished. Just because you have said yes to something does not mean that you have to be the one that actually does the work. In our coaching programs, we show you how to delegate, delay, diminish, and delete items that are not supporting your desired career and personal goals. And then we go into several time management techniques to accomplish the items that are aligned to your career and personal goals. In general, saying yes is a more beneficial attitude because it comes from a source of power and confidence. I am capable. I have great time management skills such that there will be more than enough time to do what matters. I have an abundance of time, talent, and resources at my disposal. It doesn't have to be done all at once or even all by me. The goal is to cover the essence of the task, regardless of how it is accomplished. Once you ease into that mentality as a problem solver versus the hero mentality of, if it's going to be done right, I need to do it, your resources and time will increase exponentially. So, if you had unlimited time and took everyone else out of the picture, like your boss, your family, your friends, what things would you want to accomplish for yourself, your career, your desired lifestyle? I'll pause here for a few moments for you to jot down some of those goals. Take out some paper and make use of this time right now. Once you are out of this presentation, your normal day will take over. It will be difficult for you to carve more time to do this exercise during your normal day. Since your power is in your now, do this exercise now while you are currently focused on it and have already scheduled the time for it. Identify what you want to achieve, and if you have additional time left, list the name or title of the person that will get you there. The previous setting goals was to start at creating your non-negotiable list. This list is the list of items, activities, and people that, if everything else was removed except those items, you would still be happy and excited about life. The best approach to a successful life is to be happy where you are and excitedly anticipating where you are going. Your goals in the previous list should be getting you excitedly anticipating where you are going. One of my favorite brains is that of Albert Einstein. There are many amazing quotes attributed to him. One of my favorite is the above. My translation is that if you are unhappy with your results, change something. Problems are great triggers to tell us that we need to move into solution mode. Einstein said we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. One way to say yes to everything is to focus on the higher level solutions. Once a problem has appeared, its job is practically done. The only role for a problem is to show itself. At that point, the highly effective individual immediately changes their mindset and their orientation towards a solution. Once you focus on the solution, the anxiety of the problem disappears into the excitement of the solution. Some of the tools of the solution-oriented mind is the pro and ex-con list. If you want more information about the pro and ex-con tool, let's discuss more after this program. The other thing we often stumble on is the imaginary dependencies. Oftentimes, we make the mistake of tying things together that aren't really dependencies. For example, I have a client who wanted to create more time for themselves by getting up a little earlier every day. They then confessed that they were not able to get up at 7 a.m. because they can't seem to get to bed before 1 a.m. and sometimes much later. This is an imaginary dependency because regardless of what time you go to bed, you can always set your alarm to get up by 7 a.m. Granted, you might be tired, but then it will be easier to go to bed early the next night. We create this false premise and imaginary dependencies all the time. But the good news is that if we create them, we can dismiss them just as easily. Some business examples that are challenging for us are our never-ending to-do items, demanding managers, coworkers, clients, friends, and families, and even perhaps having to split our time and resources between maintaining past products and services as well as creating new services, or perhaps retaining and satisfying current clients while attracting new clients. We'll pause here for a few moments for you to list some of the things that are currently taking you away from the things that you really want to be doing. Once you take the time to list these things that are currently taking your time, you can find alternative ways to accomplish those same goals, but on your own terms. What are some of your examples? Not unlike Einstein's comment regarding insanity, we often run in default mode. This default mode isn't restricted to a routine or practice procedure. It also refers to our default mindset and perceptions. For instance, if you are constantly surprised by unexpected new requirements, then there is something that you are constantly ignoring. If you are constantly unsatisfied with the results of the weekly meeting, you feel that it's a waste of time, there is something you are constantly doing or not doing to get that same result. If you are consistently dissatisfied with your performance review, there is something you are consistently doing or not doing to get that same result. If your coworkers or partners are always late to your meetings or presentations, there is something you are always doing or not doing to get that result. If your manager is constantly overlooking you in promotions or high-profile projects, there is something you are consistently doing or not doing to get that consistent result. If you don't like the results, change something. The great thing about this is that if it repeats, it's easily manageable. You can easily create a system to handle these things. Well-documented systems can be handed off to someone else. They can be optimized and automated. I help busy professionals and entrepreneurs create effective systems so that they can comfortably delegate to others, be more profitable, and have time to enjoy life, even if they don't have the time to learn new technology or train their staff. If you would like more information on those services, please take advantage of the complimentary Discovery Consult available at the end of this program. I have a knack for turning big ideas into on-time and profitable projects. Now we're going to move into our second key to saying yes, the live on purpose or live on vision method. It's simply about integrity. One of my favorite books is Don Ruiz's The 4 Agreements. If you haven't already encountered that book, please check it out. A quick paraphrasing of the 4 agreements are: number 1, say what you mean and do what you say. Number 2, don't take anything personally. 3, don't judge or assume. And number 4, always do your best. The one I want to mention more in detail today is item 1, the one that deals with integrity. If you focus on just saying what you really mean, then it's much easier to actually do what you say. If you are passionate and believe in what you are saying, then it's easier to complete the tasks that you are saying that you will do. We often get into trouble when we don't really mean what we say. So, if you are actually listening to this presentation, you may be saying to yourself right now, hey, wait. First you say yes to everything, and now you're saying say only what you mean. How can I say yes to everything when that will mean that I am saying yes to some things I don't really mean? Well, I'm actually saying say yes to everything, but on your own terms. We'll go into some examples later, but one quick example is that your boss comes into your office on Friday, 4:45 p.m. and asks you to review this document for him. You had already made your calendar public and told him that you will have to attend your child's recital tonight. Therefore, you have already made arrangements to leave at 5 p.m. today. Instead of assuming that your boss means that you need to review this tonight, one of the 4 agreements, you say, yes, I was interested in reviewing this. Although I have the Markinson's project review all day Monday, I can do a quick pass on Monday and give you some preliminary thoughts by 5 p.m., along with a date when I can give you a more in-depth review. How does that sound? More often than not, because you will be giving him a quick pass review by Monday and a date for the detail review, your manager will agree. At the same time, you did not give up your weekend to do it. You are also transparent in your calendar. If this schedule is not acceptable to your manager, you can offer some alternative resources. Well, it's pretty late on Friday. Most of the team will be in the Markinson review all day Monday. But I think Greg's team is not working on the Markinson's project. Perhaps someone on his team can review this in full on Monday. I'll ring Greg right now and you can talk to him about it. This is still saying yes to your manager on your own terms. You are still trying to accommodate your manager's schedule, but you are finding someone else to do it. At the end of the day, your manager needs you to do this by Monday and deems it higher priority than you're working on the Markinson project. Then after he clearly understands the consequences and delays on the Markinson projects and team, you take the Markinson's project off your plate for Monday and work on the review on Monday. 9 out of 10 times when people fully understand the consequences of their spontaneous requests, they become more reasonable. It's normally the part that we play that gets ourselves into the bind. And if you have that one manager that is not reasonable after you have done your part, then my question to you is, why are you still working for this manager? In our coaching packages and e-courses, we go over these pillars of being successful professionals and thought leaders. But one of the most relevant skills in saying yes to everything but on your own terms is to understand how your boss, your client, your coworkers, and your audience's mind works. The better you understand where they are coming from, the more successful you can achieve their goals exactly the way you want to do it. As you can see, although you are saying yes to everything, you are not the one that has to do everything on someone else's time frame. You can decide, 1, is this aligned with what I really want to be doing and when I want to do it? Number 2, does this belong on someone else's plate? Number 3, even if this is important, is it important to me? Or are only pieces of the project important to me? Remember, your client, boss, coworker, and audiences just wants it done. They don't necessarily need it to be done a specific way or by a specific person. You have an abundance of resources at your disposal. As I have said before, in many of my programs, I stress and teach Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The 4th habit is to seek to first understand. This is one of the tools to saying yes to everything, but on your own terms. A real-life example came from my days as a manager of a development and test department. A high-profile client came to us with a demand that we implement the drag and drop feature in the next release. The next release was scheduled later that week, and this particular feature was never listed or even mentioned before. Because this was a high-profile client, the developer tried to explain that the vendor software that we were using doesn't have the drag and drop library, that they would have to code from scratch to implement that particular late request, and it would take several weeks to code. The client said, well, that's not good enough. What the developers failed to realize was that the client did not care about the technical details. The client had a problem to solve. So I asked the client, what exactly? We want to create a new project from previous project files. We don't want to have to build the project from scratch. We want to drag and drop certain project files from previous projects to build our new project. So I paraphrased. So if I understand correctly, you want to be able to import certain files from other project files to create a new project folder. Yes, exactly. Well, you're going to be very happy. We have an import function and it's already in the version that you own. Let me show you. This import function works off of a drill down mechanism instead of a drag and drop mechanism. You click on the file that you want imported and just hit the import button. But let me show you some other things that you might be interested in. Unlike the drag and drop where you have to move the entire folder into your new project, with the drill down mechanism, you can double click on the folder and it will actually open the folder and allow you to see the artifacts in that folder. You can then continue to double click on the different entries to open them up. You can selectively choose the file, tasks, calendars, or line items that you want to import. You can also select the line items that you want to mask or exclude. We think it's much more powerful than the drag and drop mechanism. The drag and drop mechanism doesn't allow you to drill down to that level of detail. The client was wowed. This is even better than we could imagine, and we already have it in our current software version? Wow! This is another way to say yes on your own terms. Both the developer and the client were fixated on the drag and drop feature and not on the problem that needed to be solved. In this example, we were saying yes. For instance, yes, we have a solution to your problem, but on our own terms. For example, by using the already delivered drill down feature. By taking the time to fully understand the client's problem and showing them an alternative solution that was already implemented and available for use, we accomplished the essence of the goal, which was to solve the client's real problem. At the end of the day, the client, although they were specifically asking for the drag and drop feature, really didn't care how we solved the problem. They just wanted their problem solved. As we mentioned earlier, the second key is to live on purpose. Oftentimes, people are going crazy trying to please everyone because they simply haven't taken the time to understand what is going to please themselves. If you take the time to understand your goals, your vision, your mission, and your purpose, you will no longer feel the need to fulfill other people's vision or feel responsible for other people's goals or happiness. Oftentimes, the need to make other people happy stems from the fact that you don't really know what is going to make yourself happy. First step in any successful endeavor is to clearly articulate your goal, vision, or mission statement. If you cannot concisely, in 25 words or less, express your high-level vision, then you will not be able to sustain that goal throughout the natural changes that you will encounter. Once you have this clearly expressed, merely compare everything against that vision or mission. If it's not a good match, release and allow someone else to benefit from doing that item. There is a perfect match out there, but it doesn't have to be you. It's not your responsibility to be the perfect match for everything. If this isn't a match to your goals and you take that task on, you are doing two things. Number one, distracting yourself away from your true purpose, and two, taking that task away from the person that this task truly supports and belongs to. Here's an exercise for you. Your role and job description is a band level 9. You currently are doing band 8 level work because no one else in the office is doing it. You think you are being a good team player, but you are actually doing yourself a disservice. Come performance evaluation time, you will be compared to other band level 9 employees. All of those people are doing band level 9 work. You are doing band level 8 work. Managers only have a specific quota of above expectation, meeting expectations, and below expectation ratings to give out. Out of this group of band level 9 employees, who do you think will receive the doing below expectation rating? Using the 3 keys to saying yes on your own terms, take the next few moments to show me how you are going to succeed in this scenario. Email me your answer at laurarose@rosecoaching.info. We will pause here for a few moments for you to do this exercise. At the start of this program, we promised to go over 3 keys to saying yes on your own terms. We showed you how saying no doesn't really work or allow you to advance. By the time you say no, your plate is already overflowing, and the tasks that you have already committed to are increasing to even bigger tasks. So even if you said no, it's already too late. You have already dug yourself in pretty deep. We talked about the second key, which is to live on purpose. If you always say exactly what you mean, then it's easy to follow through. It will be aligned with your goals, mission, and purpose. And we already know that we always seem to find the time to do the things we really want to do. We even did an exercise on articulating and describing your vision, mission, and goals. Now we come to the third key, the 3 T's. Timing, talent, and training. These are the tools that you're going to use to delegate, delay, diminish, and delete items that don't exactly fit your current goals or passions. Once again, saying yes to something doesn't always mean that you are the one doing the task. Saying yes can mean that you are willing to help find a better solution to the current situation. And sometimes the best solution isn't you. In our coaching and e-course packages, we focus on several time management concepts. I actually have 12 time management agreements that you can download at the end of this presentation. But in these packages, we go into detail on respecting our time, recovering wasted time, and reserving time for the important things. We also focus on appreciating those around us. Not everyone around us is incompetent. You don't have to be the one doing the work. Just because you can do it doesn't necessarily mean you should be doing it. And a must do doesn't necessarily mean you must do it. If it's a must do, it will get done whether you are there or not. If it doesn't get done, then it wasn't a must do. Training. In order for you to create the space and time to do what you really want to do, you need to train others to do the things you are currently doing. Instead of doing the work, put in procedures, automation, and training guides in place so that you can effectively delegate to others with the peace of mind that it will be done the way you want it to be done. I want this group to start playing a bigger game. Don't limit yourself to what is today. The fact that you are on this call right now means that you are ready to take that next step. I believe in you. I realize that I went through this very quickly. We covered lots of information and tips in a very short amount of time. We have additional online courses and books. Check out the 12 tips of realistic scheduling, the 10 tips for telecommuters, the 10 career boosting resolutions, the 10 hidden time wasters. Get that well-deserved raise, the professional development toolkit, and leveraging links. We also have a done with you route, which is available in various one-on-one coaching packages. And the done for you route is where I step in and create the systematic approaches so that you can comfortably delegate to others. I mentioned earlier the 12 timely agreements. Since our power is in our now, let's download this worksheet right now. Take a few moments to type this link on your browser. I really want this group to succeed, so let's take this action now. I'll pause here for a few moments to allow you to download this worksheet right now. Making time work for you. Here's your call to action. For those of you who got value and would like to explore further, I invite you to a complimentary discovery session. This is a $175 value where I get to know more about your unique situation and I'd be able to make recommendations on what your best steps are moving forward. Thank you very much, and it's been an honor and pleasure to speak with you today. I am devoted to my clients and want the best for them. My clients succeed because they take action and are ready to succeed. So, for the people on this call that are ready for success, we'll pause here for a few moments to give you a chance to set up your complimentary discovery call. You can go directly to my appointment calendar using the Time Trade link, or you can simply email me at laurarose@rosecoaching.info.